Hello everyone, welcome to the second edition of Young Living's Wellness Essentials audio series. My name is Justin Harrison from the Business Development Department at Young Living Essential Oils. Today we're going to be discussing one of Young Living's most exciting and most popular product lines, Thieves. We have several exciting guests with us this morning. Our first guest is Dr. David Hill. He is our Director of Science and Education at Young Living Essential Oils. Many of you have had the privilege of hearing him speak or present around the country. He's known as one of our industry's leading experts on essential oils and their uses. We also have with us three of our distributors this morning who have become proficient at using the Thieves product line in their home, and they're going to share with us their suggestions and how they use these products. First, we have Alan Steele from Salem, Oregon. Also, we have Miriam Baxter from Orem, Utah. Marjorie Skidmore from Salt Lake City, Utah. Now, first, let's begin with my good friend, Dr. David Hill. Dr. Hill, you were just telling us this remarkable story about how Thieves actually came about.
Yes, Thieves is actually a really interesting story on how that was developed. But before I do, I'd like to make just a quick point about the essential oils in general. And that's the concept that even though essential oils now are becoming more mainstream, there's more recognition associated with essential oils, and we find them in all kinds of different products. Actually, they're not something that's new. They've existed for a very long period of time. Almost since the beginning of time, there's references to the use of essential oils, not just in traditional texts, but also in medical texts, very detailed outlines of how they were used for treatments and therapies. The story of Thieves is something that illustrates that very well. Think about the Bubonic Plague. Here was a time where spice trading, this was very pronounced in the culture, and yet still there was this great plague that swept through all the land. Many of the people who were affected with that were left to die. They were not approached by anybody at the time because everybody was afraid of being infected as well. There was a band of thieves who actually used the essential oils and were able to protect themselves from that plague and other infections of the day. And there was a great interest that was developed with that. Later, there was discovery of what those essential oils were. Oils like clove and rosemary. These essential oils is what Young Living has taken. Those very oils. Gary Young has formulated what we now know as Thieves Essential Oils.
Excellent, excellent. That was an amazing story, and it's so important to understand the history behind what brought this blend of essential oils together. Now, Dr. Hill, it seems obvious from what you've told us that these oils are very powerful, extremely effective, and have been tried and true for centuries. What does this mean for us today?
Well, I think there's a couple of key things there. First is tried and true. What does that really mean? Meaning that it does have a rich history, not something that's new, as I expressed just a little bit earlier. But also talking about in the day and age that we now have, we're exposed to things that we've never been exposed to before. Disease and illness in general is rampant within this country and all throughout the world. We're really not winning the war against disease. We're not winning the war against improving our health. And I think we'd all agree, if we were very honest with ourselves and with others, that we see that our health in general has begun to decline. More importantly, the options that we have for health are beginning to decline. And this is perhaps why you're starting to have more recognition for things like essential oils. You can take some things in particular to look at. What about antibiotic resistance? I mean, here's something that is the center of a lot of controversy in this country and elsewhere within the world, because very quickly antibiotics have run their course, if you will, in the medical arena. Even at their very earliest introduction, it was just a short period of time, within just a few years, bacteria had begun to develop resistance to the types of pharmacology we were using. And now that means something very different to what it meant then. The types of bacteria that we're exposed to because of that mutation that's developed, that resistance that they've developed to our traditional forms of treatment, means that these very common bacteria, things like Staph aureus, now are resistant and they can kill you. And so we need answers. And we can look at now on the horizon very exciting research that says that Thieves and other essential oils has very powerful benefits. Look at things like mold. Yet another powerful use for this combination of oils that make up the blend, the essential oil blend of Thieves. For example, it may surprise you to know that up to 70 to 80% of all women in America suffer from some type of a mold infection. 30 to 40% of all men suffer from some type of a mold infection. So the Thieves oil itself is something that I look at personally, and I don't understand why everybody in America would not want to use this on a regular basis, because it is that powerful because of the combination of those oils as they're blended together. Which brings in another point, and that's the synergy that's associated when we blend oils. And many times that provides for us the answers that we need.
So, what is it about this Thieves Oil blend that makes it so effective?
Well, we talked a little bit about synergy, about blending of the oils, and let's talk about the oils that are associated with Thieves. You have clove, you have cinnamon, rosemary, lemon, and eucalyptus radiata. We'll stay away from the chemistry, but we do need to make a point that when we talk about essential oils, one of the things that makes them so advantageous to us is the idea that they are very complex in their chemistry. It's not just a single component, and this is what we always try to do within Western medicine. This is the whole premise of pharmacology, is if I can isolate active ingredients or components, then I can use that to fight a process within the body or eradicate something that's occurring within the body. Essential oils are different that way. They're very complex in their chemistry, and that complexity gives them great power in terms of being able to prevent resistance. You look at the essential oils, all of these oils that we've talked about, clove, cinnamon, rosemary, lemon, eucalyptus radiata, they have some common and some similar points. First off, they all have monoterpenes. Robert Koch, he was an individual who won a Nobel Prize in the late 1800s for his discovery of the microbes associated with anthrax. I think the discovery he had a few years later is even more important. And that was the discovery that essential oils are complex in their nature, and specifically it's the monoterpenes. But I want you to understand a very key concept, that if people could really understand completely, they'd understand why I say, and others, you need to use essential oils every day and every way. Every single essential oil, I'm not aware of any that don't have monoterpenes in their structures. Look at clove, and clove has been used in dentistry for hundreds of years. Rosemary. Rosemary is interesting because rosemary has something that's called eucalyptol, and eucalyptol is also found, ironically enough, in Eucalyptus radiata. Lemon, we talk about any of the citrus oils we could put into this category, and everybody always wants to talk about limonene, which is a monoterpene, and that's why these oils are so powerful as a blend.
You know, Dr. Hill, as you and I have traveled around the country over these past few years, there's a question that we receive on a regular basis. And as you know, there are many essential oils out on the market today. What makes Young Living's essential oil so different from all the other brands out there on the market?
This is actually a question that I get all the time, and it's one I get a little bit passionate about, because there are lots of oils now that exist that I call five and dime oils. Maybe that's not a fair way to categorize them, but literally you can almost buy them at the five and dime store. And that's not really what you want to do, and I'll tell you why. In fact, just recently I had the opportunity to visit with several doctors. I was down in South Florida, and they asked me the same question about some of the essential oils. And the point was made that these essential oils that we're dealing with, first off, are living whole energetic substances. A little different than when we start talking about herbs or some of the other things that we traditionally think of within herbal medicine or natural medicine. These are live substances. They haven't been dried. We haven't removed anything from them. Young Living is very unique as a company because we have a belief. It's more than a belief. I would say it's something that we look to champion. I would say it's something that Gary Young has been extremely passionate about and has dedicated literally his life's work to. That essential oils, in order to be effective, must be maintained for all of their chemical properties and components, just as they were found in nature. Most companies aren't willing to go the extra effort or to put the time and resources into making that happen. But Young Living won't produce an oil. Young Living won't utilize an oil that doesn't meet that criteria. And the reason why is because we are desperately concerned with, if we're going to change people's health, if we're going to empower them to do something different with their health, we must provide a product that is efficacious. We must provide a product that is able to be utilized within the environment of your body. It has to be bioactive. It has to be synergistic with how it functions within the body in normal body physiology. That's what the oils do. So pure therapeutic grade essential oils means that these oils are unadulterated, means that these oils are pure. These oils do what we expect them to do within the body, and that is promote health.
You know, Dr. Hill, I appreciate that you've used the word champion in the statement that you just made. We do feel that it is our responsibility to champion essential oils. And what I mean by that is we as a company will never compromise the purity and efficacy of our essential oils. And that is something that we are all proud to stand behind and believe in. Now let's chat with one of our distributors that's joined us this morning. Alan, you've been using essential oils now in your home for about 15 years.
Yes.
And as we've just heard from Dr. Hill and some of the information he shared with us on the history and potency of this blend of oils, we're excited to know how we can use this blend, the Thieves blend, in our day-to-day lives in our home. Share with us how you use it.
You know, whenever somebody comes to my home, I always want to present the best that I can. The smell that greets them, oftentimes people comment that it smells good here. They feel comfortable. They feel something alive. There's love in this home. I think it's all communicated that way. And Thieves has been an important oil in my efforts to constantly keep the household clean and avoid the problems associated with the many germs that are out there. As Dr. Hill mentioned, these oils have a powerful effect, and they do serve an important part of my efforts to protect my family. Young Living's founder, Gary Young, has said many times to saturate your home with oils. They're natural, they're wonderful, they can help you live a better life. The nice thing about doing this with Thieves is it has such a pleasant and energizing smell. You can diffuse it in every room, and it has a great scent. Another way I like to use the Thieves oil is to take it internally. It's actually pretty simple to do. Some people will put it right on their tongue, but if you're new to oils or you can't tolerate those strong oils in your tongue, it's no worries. There's other ways. The first is just take an empty capsule. Young Living sells them in packs of 250. Place 3 to 4 drops of the Thieves oil into a capsule and take that daily. If you don't want to take the time to fill a capsule, you can simply drop 3 or 4 drops on a piece of bread or a cracker. It just adds an extra layer of protection and will help to support the immune system. Young Living actually makes it easy also. They carry 2 types of throat lozenges that are both infused with Thieves. One is hard and slow dissolving, and the other is soft and fast dissolving. Now both of these lozenges work great to soothe the throat. It just depends on what your preference is. The important thing to concentrate is to taking a proactive action towards preventing the problem before it gets too much.
Alan, those are great tips, and I appreciate your comments. You know, I've done several of those things myself, and it's so important to find ways to be able to include these oils in our daily routine. Now, I'm very excited to share with you something that has just happened. We've made an addition to our Thieves product line. Now, many of you may have noticed as you've been in supermarkets, there's been a tremendous growth in the antibacterial hand soap industry. They're everywhere. There's tons of them. And I don't know about you, most of the folks that I work with here at Young Living and meet every day in Young Living, we're looking for an alternative that's toxin-free, that's chemical-free, and Young Living has added this alternative to our amazing Thieves product line, and that's our new foaming hand soap. And we're really excited about this. I know, Dr. Hill, I know you're very excited about this. We have this in our homes. It's an amazing product. Tell us, Dr. Hill, why it's so important to have a soap like this in your home.
Well, we're going to go right back to some of the things that we spoke of a little bit earlier, and I think that Alan referenced as well, where he talked about his home and wanting to have a clean environment. Interesting, if you look at the history of medicine, there was a marketable change that took place when we discovered that washing your hands is actually a healthy thing to do. Now we've added the idea that you do that with soap, and it's even better. The problem that we have is, and this is something that becomes generational through products and through the industry as a whole, and that is that we're not content just to have hand soaps anymore. Now we have to have hand soaps that have perfume. Now we have antibacterial soaps. And all of this, once again, is perpetuating this problem of resistance that we referred to a little bit earlier. But even more significantly, what about the cost of toxicity that's associated with that? If I were to single out the single biggest issue that I think people face as a health risk and concern in this day and age, it would be the toxic environment that we're exposed to every single day of our lives. It's astounding how many new chemicals are introduced in this country. I read not too long ago that nearly 5,000 different new chemicals every single day. And that is found in our soaps and other things. So why do I think this soap is so important? Because it, once again, is a pure, natural product that's based in essential oils. Look at the importance of doing that within your home. For example, the Center for Disease Control said that 76 million cases of food poisoning are going to occur this year. It's also known that most of those are preventable just through proper food preparation and hygiene, cleanliness right within the home. And this offers a great advantage for you to be able to do that with using the new Thieves Foaming Hand Soap. I think it ought to be in every sink in your home. It doesn't have any irritation. Young Living has taken a great deal of time. This is dermatologically tested. It also has the CTFA certification, which means that it's passed through a series of testing, which does several different things. It means you don't have to worry about it being caustic to your skin. It means it's gentle. It means that it's safe. It means it's something you can use every single day, and it's not going to irritate you. Now, this is interesting because you think about some of the oils that we have. We talked about clove, for example, and anybody who's taken clove knows that it also can be very hot. And yet, within this new formulation with this soap, you don't have any of the caustic nature associated, but you still receive all the powerful benefit. Also, a lot of people would tell you, I use the essential oils, I love them, and I get a lot of people asking me this, Dr. Hill, it is a little bit drying to my skin. Some of the oils can be that way, and here's a product that we're telling you we want you to use this every single day, every time you wash your hands. We're telling you we want you to use all of the Thieves products for cleaning the environment of your home, for maintaining that environment that we need to be healthy and to be fortified in our immune systems of the body. Well, we've done something different with this. We've added some other ingredients with it. Aloe vera is associated with this product. Ginkgo biloba is associated with this product. And the reason why is because it's protective to the skin. So not only now is it a good, healthy way without lots of harsh chemicals to clean and remove germs from your hands and other surfaces or environments, but also it's protective for the skin. And I think that makes it a very unique product. You can use it without worry. One of the things that I believe is most amazing about that is that now you have a purely natural way, without chemical toxicity, we can safely eliminate germs in our hand washing within our home.
And you know, Dr. Hill, something I really appreciate is we've added extra lemon oil to this soap. Not only does it make it smell even better, but it's a very strong cleansing agent as well. And I think it's clear that it's so important that we're conscious about the products that we use in our home on a day-to-day basis, and then we try to avoid chemically laden products as much as we possibly can. Now, this new soap, this new Thieves Foaming Hand Soap, is available in several different ways. As of now, it's available in our new Thieves Auto Ship Pack with several of our other Thieves products. And then at the 1st of May, May 1st, the hand soap will be available as a single item or in a 3-pack. Now, there are some huge benefits for ordering this hand soap through the new Thieves Auto Ship Pack. We've put a new Auto Ship Pack together that contains most all of the Thieves product line, and we've done this so that you and your family can receive these products on a monthly basis, month after month, and be able to establish that protection and that therapeutic value that we all enjoy on a day-to-day basis. Now, in this Thieves Auto Ship Pack, you'll receive a 15 milliliter bottle of the Thieves Oil Blend, the actual oil, a tube of the Denrome Ultra toothpaste, a bottle of the Fresh Essence Plus mouthwash, 2 bottles of the Thieves Household Cleaner, and let me tell you, that's an amazing product, and 3 bottles of the Thieves Spray, and of course, 2 bottles of the new Thieves Foaming Hand Soap. And of course, one of the major benefits to purchasing this in the Auto Ship Pack, the Thieves Auto Ship Pack, is that you receive a savings of almost $12 off of the price compared to as if you were to individually purchase each of these items separately. And it's automatically sent to your home on a monthly basis on the date of your choosing. And of course, a very, very major benefit to participating in the Essential Rewards Auto Ship program is you receive free product points on each auto ship order that you have each and every month. These accrue in your Young Living account, a free product bucket, if you will. And as these points accrue, you can then call in at a later time and spend these points on free product just as if they were cash. Some of you may not be familiar with all of the products that are available in our Thieves product line. With us this morning is one of our distributors, Marion Baxter, and she's here to share with us some of the products that she uses. Marion, how often do you use these Thieves products?
I use them every single day. Young Living carries a variety of cleaning products that you can use in all areas of your home. The first two products are Thieves Wipes and the Thieves Spray. Now, both of these products are used for surface cleaning, and they contain thieves to help disinfect. Now, they're really portable and they're convenient and very effective. I put them in my purse, I carry them in my car, I take them with me on vacation, and they really help keep the area around you, wherever that may be, clean and disinfected. They are both great to take when you go grocery shopping, wipe down the cart before you put the kids in or your hands on the cart. You can use them on public doorknobs. Did you realize that when Prince William was born to Diana and Prince Charles, that they contacted a major cleaning person in the U.S. And one of the questions that they had was, what is the most important thing to get cleaned in the castle with the coming of this new prince? And guess what the item was? Doorknobs. No one remembers to wipe down doorknobs. And that's where I love to have the Thieves Wipes and the spray, because even when I'm away from home, I can clean the doorknobs at my house, but what about the bathroom doorknob, and the doorknob into the office where your coworkers had flu for a week, or whatever. So they're really useful for that. The other thing that I like is I still have a 10-year-old at home. And so we can use these on playground equipment. He likes to rock climb. He can use it on rental equipment, that kind of thing. The other thing that I really like is how versatile they are. The wipes come in a plastic container and they're really ready to use, and they're very thick and really hold up. They don't just fall apart like a piece of tissue. The spray comes in a really portable 1-ounce bottle, and when you use it away from home, you can actually use one of those small tissues and wipe things down if you happen to not have your Thieves Wipes with you. One of the things that I like about Thieves Oil, and I started doing this from the very beginning, was I'd learned early on that what a great disinfectant it was. So we not only diffuse it in our home, but we put it on people's feet, like the bottom of our kids' feet. Now, when my older kids got to be teenagers, they didn't want to have that wonderful cinnamony smell right up, by their neck and where other kids could smell it. So I said, okay, if you put it on the bottom of your feet, pull on your socks, and put your shoes on, you're set for the day. Well, what they didn't know was I was spraying inside of the shoes when they didn't know it. I had this going, I had this down. So they just laced on their shoes or put them on and were gone for the day, and they were being protected all day long. And I love that. And then we would have these diffusing at home when they would come home. The other thing that we've enjoyed introducing people, talk to your shoe salesman. They're handling all kinds of feet every day. And they literally enjoyed the idea that they could take the Thieves Spray, put it on their hands, and also offer it to their clients and say, you don't know who's tried all of these shoes on, and they're wonderful shoes, but if you want to spray this on the bottom of your foot, great. And it was a really neat thing to do.
Marion, I appreciate that you mentioned the importance of diffusing the essential oil blend of Thieves in our homes. We diffuse this in my home on a regular basis, and what it really comes down to is just about protection. Now, Dr. Hill, we have another Thieves product that I know you enjoy. My wife loves it. I enjoy it. And that's our Thieves Cleaner. And it's so versatile and so amazing, but tell us how it differs from all the other cleaners out there on the market.
Well, I'm noticing something that I think is a really key point. Everybody's talking about the same thing, about protecting the environment of their home, talking about eliminating germs, talking about disinfecting an area. And there's all kinds of products that you can use to do that. The question that comes to my mind always is the same question each time. At what cost? Here's what I love about the Thieves product. We haven't talked much about this today because there's really not time to do that, but I want to share something with you that I think is important. Those same essential oils that we're talking about as being disinfecting for the environment within your home, that we've heard a lot of different uses now on how people can use those. They also come without having a cost associated with them. In fact, just the opposite. It's not like we're taking some type of a toxic chemical and we're trying to clean the environment. And at the same time, yeah, maybe we have been very effective at eliminating some germs. But what happens when this young child, children in your home or others come and now they're in contact with this very harsh chemical? And we sometimes think chemicals aren't harsh. And I'm telling you, anything that does damage to the body is harsh. And I like these cleaners for this reason and this reason only. I can disinfect. And at the same time, I can promote my health, whether it's through immune modulation or it's just by virtue of the fact that I'm not causing toxicity in the body. I think that is significant.
You know, Dr. Hill, as a father, I really appreciate the fact that I can have a cleaner in my home that is safe. Should my children encounter it, it's not going to harm them in any way, and I really, really appreciate that. Now, Marjorie, we were speaking earlier about an experience that you had with the Thieves Household Cleaner and how much you love this product. Could you share that with everyone again?
Dr. Hill is right. This product will literally clean everything in your house from top to bottom. It comes as a concentrate, and you can dilute it for as much or as little as you'd like, depending on the different jobs that you have to do. The best part is, it is so easy to use. There are dilution ratios right on the side of the bottle, and all you have to do is mix the Thieves cleaner according to what the ratio is with water. I had mold in my closet from an air conditioner that was in the attic. I sprayed the Thieves on the mold, and it completely disappeared and has not returned. Miriam, can you tell us about what your cleaning lady said about Thieves?
Oh, I have this great friend that comes and helps me. We clean the house on the same day, and I get it all done on a day once a week. And it was the neatest thing. She literally came up to me and said, we got to refill one of these. And it was the Thieves Cleaner diluted. And I have them marked that they're Thieves Cleaner. And she said, oh, let's do this. And then she looked at me and she goes, I feel so good when I come and clean at your house. I love the smell of this. I love how it cleans. It can clean every surface. And she liked that it didn't bother her when she was in cleaning in the tub or the shower. She said, I come out feeling healthy. Why is that? So it was a great way to tell her that it didn't have the chemicals like Dr. Hill was referring to. It was doing no harm to her body and to mine. And I love that. So that was part of how we use it at our house. And one of the things that I love, Alan had shared with me some time ago, he got to do professional cleaning when he was a student and a young married, and he worked out the economics of the dilution process and everything. And he shared something with me about if you're not feeling well, remember that, Alan?
Oh, I do. It's really remarkable. You can make the dilution ratio however you like. Even in a spray bottle. I'm mopping the floors, I can spray a spot that's particularly stubborn. It comes right up. The kitchen cleaning has been decreased. And I also noticed that with the oven, for example, a commercial cleaner, I used a commercial cleaner to clean the oven. But I also noticed that, well, I had to practically leave the house for 4 hours before I could actually enjoy the home anymore. So I followed the directions on the bottle, I sprayed down the oven, and I was amazed at how easily the grime came off. And even more, nobody complained about the foul odors that were usually associated with this tough task.
Well, Marjorie, Alan, Marion, Dr. Hill, we appreciate so much that you've taken a few minutes with us this morning. I hope that we've all grown in our commitment and our understanding of how and why to use these Thieves products in our home every day. They are so vital to keeping us healthy and providing that extra protection that we all look for and need. These products are safe, they're natural, and they really work. The best method of getting these products in your home on a monthly basis is obviously the Thieves Auto Ship package. It's the best value, the most convenient option. Of course, they're available on an individual basis as well. For additional information about the Thieves product line or any of Young Living's products, please speak with the person who gave you this CD. From all of us at Young Living and from all of us here in the studio today, we wish you continued wellness and abundance.